Then he opened his mouth and taught, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit. That is a principle of God. And theirs is the kingdom of heaven. That's an effect. Blessed are those who mourn. Principle. For they shall be comforted. Effect. Blessed are the meek. Principle. For they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, a principle of God, for they shall be filled. That's in effect. Blessed are the merciful, another principle, for they shall obtain mercy, another effect. Blessed are the pure in heart, principle of God, for they shall see God. That's in effect. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You have your principle, and then you have your effect, okay? Blessed are they when you are reviled and persecuted, and say all kinds of evil against you, and you falsely, for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad. That's a principle. Rejoice when you're under tribulation for being a Christian. Rejoice, for great is your reward in heaven. That's an effect. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Now, we're going to be teaching on these principles, but not tonight. I'll explain in a minute. Here's my note. What we just read, of course, for the people who don't know, is the Beatitudes that Jesus preached on the side of a mountain overlooking the Sea of Galilee in northern Israel. And we were standing on that mountain overlooking the Sea of Galilee when we were in Israel. Here's what he was not preaching. And some people get it wrong, okay? We go into the Bible, we go into these principles just like the Israelites went to the law and said, okay, now we need to keep the law. And guess what they couldn't do? Keep the law. So we read the Beatitudes and say, okay, now we've got to keep these principles, which we cannot do by ourselves, okay? What Jesus was teaching was there are principles to the kingdom, and when you do those principles, there are good effects. That's what he was preaching, okay? He was not preaching rules and regulations, do's and don'ts, but spiritual principles that have the power of the kingdom of God built into them.